Welcome to InTouch Live. We have another speaker series today. I am with a good friend of mine, Peter Steigleder, and his partner, Jeff Fong. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what both of you do, and how and why we're here today, and how it involves InTouch Live, and then we'll go from there. Peter, take it away.
So I've been in commercial real estate since 1999. Started actually in the San Fernando Valley, leasing and selling industrial buildings. Started getting into more of the development side of real estate. And then I kind of fell into the private money lending business through an opportunity through a gentleman named Uncle Chuck Hirschon, who owns a company called Fidelity Mortgage Lender. He's only been around for 55 years. They call him the godfather of hard money lending. And I had an opportunity to go see what private lending, hard money lending was all about, and I transitioned from commercial real estate into the hard money lending world about 8 years ago, and really enjoyed that side of the business and enjoyed real estate financing and financing commercial buildings. That's basically my background now, that's what I do.
We've known each other for a while.
Long time.
And I mean, a long time, and we met through, I think, several networking groups and such. A lot of the deals on the insurance side and the hard lending go hand in hand, so there was a lot of synergy between us, and we've gone to a lot of events together and done business. What can you, basically one or two things that can you take away from the last 10 years or 12 years that we've known each other, where it's changed today on the hard lending side, and then you look at the insurance side? Because we're always bouncing stuff back and forth.
Somehow, somewhere you get screwed, right? Insurance
Well,
rates keep going up. On the hard money lending side, when I got into the business, I was competing with traditional financing, and traditional financing at the time, interest rates were, down to nothing.
Right.
People were getting loans at 2.5%, 3%, 4%, and in the private lending side, when we were trying to, get our 8%, 9%, 10%. Somebody would say, what's your interest rate? And if I say 10%, he would hang up right away.
That was it, huh?
That was it, right? So I learned very quickly not to talk about interest rate, figure out what the need is first. Because once you figure out that their need doesn't apply to traditional financing and they have to go hard money, then we can talk about interest rates. But, and COVID, of course, was a whole...
COVID has completely turned around this world. And you can see the collateral damage from it, not only from the markets, from people, how they're, the interest rates, the inflation, now you got tariffs. It's a fun world.
It's a fun world. I remember going through...
I mean, that's why you grew your beard, right?
Trying to hide all my scars that I got from getting beat up. And they called me Scarface in the past.
But it's changed.
It's changed a
the
lot,
landscape, and it's changed not only the insurance, but the lending side. AI is now involved. The interest rates are all over the map.
Values all of a sudden changed dramatically, and all of a sudden the hard money rates and the traditional rates, were almost on par. Some of these B-class loans, like an SBA loan and my hard money deals, were on par. So all of a sudden, nobody would hang up on me anymore when I said 10%. But during COVID, financing was also challenging.
Sure.
And one of the things we did to get through the COVID period is we just tell people, look, I'll give you a 2-year loan. I don't know what the future is going to look like. We just started COVID. We're on lockdown. We'll take out 12 months of prepaid. We'll have you prepay 12 months of the loan, and then we figure in a year from now we'll see where things are going. And that worked out extremely well. We wrote a ton of loans, but making people pay us 12 months in advance. We would take it out of the loan proceeds. Today, I think with the insurance, the challenge is, people come and want to refinance a piece of real estate. Values have compressed, right? Have gone down. But the other costs, insurance costs, have gone up, right? So that also takes a toll on the value. Can you even get insurance in some of these properties? Like we did a hard money loan on the property that burned down in the Altadena fire. Now, knock on wood, we got paid off a week before the fire started and the building got burned. So I didn't have to deal with the insurance company. And my understanding is that owner's still dealing with the insurance company.
Yeah, and certain carriers, we just had a shoot last week. Basically on the aftermath of the insurance, on the personal insurance and the commercial market between the two fires, because there's a 1-year anniversary, and then you have the governor's emergency order as far as non-renewing current existing book of business or policies. That emergency order is expired, so it's a free-for-all on the insurance side. So, that's basically why we're here, is to not only educate our audience, your community, and then bring us together. So it's an interesting perspective.
Well, look,
for you.
I think 10 years ago, 12 years ago, insurance was, wasn't really on my radar. Yeah, you go get insurance and you're fine.
Yeah.
Today, insurance is one of the first things we talk about.
It's because it's a requirement, and we're like the police. They don't want to see us unless they really need us. So, from that standpoint, it's kind of like it's the chicken or the egg, and how you navigate it. But you can't pass go without insurance, and then that has to be aligned with the lenders and that such. And you've experienced that.
Absolutely.
Jeff.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just absorbing it all. I think it's an interesting conversation. I read a lot about it.
Well, about the insurance side or the
Both
hard
what
lending?
you
Yeah.
discussed.
Yeah.
Especially since Palisades and Eaton had happened.
It's evolving, and even today we've had more challenges, because a lot of our clients that had partial burns or smoke that took over the home or melted the home. I mean, we had 107 claims. They're still dealing with it. And then we got new insurance companies, because those pulled out of the state of California. And now you're dealing with the risk assessment, the loss control, and a laundry list of requirements that if they don't comply with, the carrier is going to pull out midterm. But as far as your background's in AI and real estate, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, because it's a little bit different than Peter's.
Well, I'm not even in the industry.
I understand.
I've been a borrower before. That's
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Dealt
Well,
with
everybody's
insurance
borrowed
companies.
and everything else. But
He borrowed from me, and I broke his legs when he didn't pay. Hard money
Oh, there you go.
lender.
That's the definition.
Actually, the first time I met Peter was at a Lone Oak Fund event.
Okay.
And I was meeting a good friend of ours, Angela, there, and I'm like, why does Lone Oak sound so familiar? So I check in, I'm hanging out, waiting for everybody. And then it dawned on me that was my actual loan for my house. So it made sense why I was there, but full circle. It's always been interesting. I did a lot of investing in bridge financing for companies to go public in bioscience. I did that for quite a few years, and this whole world has been interesting. And my background has always been, whether it be catering, entertainment, nightlife, organizing and producing events. I did that for 20 years in Las Vegas and Hollywood. And then when we finally met, we went to was it CREF?
CREF conference in San Diego.
CREF conference
Okay.
in San Diego. I said to Angela and Peter, let's take the train. We don't have to drive. And so he hadn't slept and probably did an all-nighter on work on probably a loan and insurance deal. And
a couple of drinks.
And a couple of drinks.
Just a few, right?
And,
Yeah, he was like-
and I was hoping I could sleep on that train at 9 o'clock and catch up.
And how long was the train ride?
2.5.
Oh, okay.
And I'll let him tell about, we spoke the entire 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I was just interested in what people are doing with this industry, because I've always been sort of on the sidelines looking in, and it's always been sort of an interest. And I said to him, as far as marketing and events are concerned, I've always wanted to work with professional corporations, get sponsors involved, and actually build a community. And so, hence moving forward, we started working in 23, I think. And we did an event when you were at NAI Finance, building that company, and it was a big turnout out in the valley. And so things started to move around, and we had to wait and put it on the back burner. And last year, 2025, it's been good. We've done 3 events, and it's getting the rust off of me. I haven't done it in 15 years. So.
What's the name of, because we'll talk about the alliance that we have on the InTouch Live side. What's the name of your networking group, and what's the mission of it?
Well, the networking event is called Alliances.
Okay.
Build Connect in real estate. It's an idea of building a community so that everybody can network, and we've chosen that the best time to do that outside of conferences and speaking conferences is happy hour time, networking. And when I went to CREF,
Yep.
Anyhow, when I went to CREF, I noticed that that's where all the marketing is being done. That's where the introductions are being done. And so we decided to put something together and move forward. But one of the things that we wanted to make sure that aligned with our idea of this mission statement was high-end venues. So first couple of events we did at the Waldorf Astoria, and I have a lot of connections within the hotel industry and hospitality. And so we're trying to hand in hand grow this idea, and I think that's where we're at right now, is hoping your audience and others will be interested in listening and joining us.
One of our missions of InTouch Live is to basically partner. We have a lot of strategic partners. We have partners within our community that not only we do business together, like Peter and I have done over a decade, but it's to bring our community and our partners together. So this alliance with the alliance,
There you go.
it's very catchy. And plus, Peter's one of the best dressed guys I know out there. So one of the things that our audience really wants to know is who's going to be there. Do you have to be in real estate? How long is it? Can you take us through a deeper dive of what goes on at your events?
I'll let you
No,
can.
go ahead.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay. All good.
I just want to add.
We'll jump in.
I'll jump in. I just want to add on to the reason also we picked this, happy hour 4 to 7, exactly what Jeff said. But I've done a lot of conferences, and exactly like Jeff said, sometimes you just get there at 9 in the morning.
Yep.
And yours was actually very educational when I got there. When the first one I went to, and that's why I keep coming back, which was nice. Sometimes you have panelists up there, and some are great, and some are not so great, and some talk about themselves all the time because we're human beings. We like to talk about ourselves. But we thought, let's just skip the panel section.
Sure.
Right? Because I make most of my contacts, from 4 to 7 at the happy hour networking
Right,
events. Yeah. But yeah, Jeff, you want to talk about the people we bring together?
Sure. It's commercial real estate centric, and what we've decided as we're starting to grow, that I'm starting to invite my friends who own brick and mortar businesses. Because why? What if they're unhappy with where they're at in their lease, or it's the end of their lease, right? Or something has happened, because that's happened to me before, where I've lost a lease because I've had some problems with the property management company. And at the end of the day, we try to bring in everybody who can mix, and we try to do brand activation stations where you can actually get immersive, so the attendees can win prizes. We do giveaways and raffles, and we just want to make it fun. And I think, is that answering all of your questions? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, Peter and I met in a networking group. I've been networking for over a quarter of a century. This guy's everywhere. I know that. I'm everywhere as well. And one of the reasons why we got InTouch Live is to partner with folks like you guys, not only from the standpoint of marketing or networking, but it's really business development, and it's really relationships that you want to meet, whether it's a 4 to 7, whether you have a conference where you're providing educational content, as well as what are the trends are out there, whether it's real estate, cybersecurity, AI, that type of thing. So tell me how the raffle works. I've seen on your website, and we're going to put the website and all the information down on this podcast at the end. How does the VIP access work? How does the raffle work? Buy a drink, you get another drink, and that type of, because it's an interesting concept. I always like little things that hook people that they want to go to, and how does that work?
Well, I think everybody wants to win, right? And
No,
at the end of the day-
that's why there's Las Vegas.
There you go. But at the end of the day, I think that being able to give something fun away, I think the first 2 events, what we did is we gave some Southwest airline tickets, and then I hooked them up with my VIP concierge to go anywhere for dinner and nightlife. It's something that's really fun. I know that there's a couple of guys that we're doing business with. They'll be jumping on in the next event. Current 1031, Kyle and Brad. And Kyle sat there and bought 20 tickets in front of us, still spinning the raffle wheel to win Kings tickets because he wanted to go to the season games.
Got it.
And it's really fun to see people enjoy themselves. We try to get entertainment, and we try to get wellness companies to jump on for giveaways, discounts on our products and services. And as far as the VIP ticket or a raffle ticket, I think it's just fun when you add it in there. A VIP ticket's $30. You basically get a cocktail and a raffle ticket, and you don't have to wait in line, right? You just show your QR code, we scan it, we give you what you need, and you go and enjoy yourself. And I think that it lends itself to a little bit more fun, and then during the raffle, depending on the venue, because we can't always do live speaker and a microphone, but we do text as well for giveaways, and we try to keep it low key depending on the hotel that we're at. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to just touch a little bit also
Sure,
on
sure.
the so the people that we get there, right? And Jeff mentioned some. So we have commercial real estate agents. We have attorneys, we have architects, we have environmental companies, title, escrow, architect, anybody that has anything to do with commercial real estate, including building owners and business owners, right? One of the things sometimes, commercial real estate agents say, oh, why do I want to go somewhere where there's another commercial real estate agent?
Right.
Well, when you transact, and let's say you're bringing a tenant or a buyer to a building, and on the other side is an agent you don't know, makes the transaction a little more challenging sometimes. But if you know the other agent, right, then you can have a more open dialogue and help kind of bridge the gap between the buyer and seller, or tenant and owner. It makes transactions a little easier. Also, they may know about an off-the-market opportunity that they maybe don't have a buyer or tenant for, but you may have one. I know Chris McKenzie was at an event similar to ours and found somebody who had an off-the-market property, brought a buyer, right? It did like a $7 million transaction. Elizabeth Clark, and Mike Arnold, who are two of our partners in this. Elizabeth was at our event, an escrow person came up to her and says, hey, my ex-girlfriend's dad wants to sell an office building. She got a $2 million office building for sale. Stacy Verheilig had a cell phone tower for sale. She's a commercial real estate agent. Evan Papel's company buys those. I put those two together, and now they're doing like a $800,000 transaction on a cell tower. Now, these are not huge transactions, but they are transactions.
Yeah.
So this is what comes out of these events. People get to know each other. You get to find out what's going on and what they have. And in our business, information is gold.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no question
it's
about
it. It's all about information. And if I can talk to somebody from the insurance world about, hey, I got this building and I got these challenges. When you meet commercial real estate attorneys there, you buy them a drink and you talk to them for 30 minutes instead of spending $500 an hour, $250 for half an hour, asking them questions for a $30 drink. You get free legal advice, right?
Well, that's not true. They might send you the bill a week or two later.
Probably afterwards,
yeah,
right?
Or
add it in as a tip.
You
But
might
there's so many
get the bill.
benefits that come out of information and knowing people or having somebody to go to answer these questions.
Sure.
To add to that, if I may
Yeah.
say, part of what we're doing is we're curating an attendee list. And so why do you want to actually come to our event? What do you do? What's the name of your company? What's your job title? And for all sponsors, they get this attendee list, and that's curated directly to if you're a lending company or whatever industry you're in. And so we try to put the right information of these attendees to come in so we can all do business.
Sure. And that's really the goal. So if you're not in real estate, but you want to meet folks in the real estate industry, are they welcome?
Yes. Yes,
Absolutely.
we've had resi agents come in. I've had business owners who own health spas. It's all about getting in face to face and marketing your services and products. So
my barber who does my beard wanted to come to meet some more people, but I told him I'm the only one with a beard, so you're not going to find any customers.
Well, you never know. I mean, how many people are usually at these events?
about 100 to about 120, and it's starting to grow.
Okay.
Within a 3-hour period. I'd say
Right.
about 40% show up in the first hour.
Okay. Great.
So they get there early.
What does your schedule look like this year? You've got one event that moved at the end of January. Now it's in February. You have another one in March. What does it look like, and what do you guys want to do in the latter half of the year and into the fall? Because we're halfway through January.
February 5th, right?
4th.
4th, okay.
4th,
We're supposed to do the 5th. So we moved the 29th to February 4th. And what we did is it's going to be at the Firefly in Studio City.
Okay.
But we also moved it because we wanted to get their private room that's off to the side that can hold 150 people.
Okay.
And so we had to move the date to accommodate for the amount of people that we feel are going to show up. Because we have, like Jeff said, from 100 to 125 people show up. And we've been in the Valley for 25 years of our career. So we should have 150 plus people showing up.
And you'll have more people with the partnership of InTouch Live.
Exactly.
After February 4th, what else are you looking at? Are you looking at doing a bi-monthly or every other month, or what are you?
It was bi-monthly, February, March, but January, March. But then since we moved to February, we're still going to do March.
Yeah.
And what's the date that we have?
March 26th, which is a Thursday. We always throw it on a Thursday.
Okay.
We figure that would be the best time of the week.
Except this February.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And then we've been talking to a couple of sponsors. Corexy wants to do one in Manhattan, which would be a spinoff of Alliances. And apparently there's a area called Brokers Row down there, and we're looking for a venue to
Manhattan
host.
Beach or Manhattan, New York?
Manhattan Beach, sorry.
Oh, okay.
California.
I don't know.
New York.
We're not that big
I'm
yet.
bi-coastal, so
Oh, there you go. That's
yeah.
true.
Give us a little
So
time.
Manhattan Beach,
And
okay.
so that started to come, and then we have a bunch of women who do. their business development within their companies, and they want to do a GC and trades one as well. And people are coming to us now to actually form these networking events based off of our Alliances business model.
Okay, what's GC events?
General
What-
contractors and trades.
Okay,
So
okay.
I have a lot of friends who work at ISEC, Core Environmental Solutions, and they want to do one specifically for the general contractors like Hensel and all the big contractor companies that are in downtown. And they think that this is something that would be on their radar to sponsor, and they think that they can bring a network as well. And so
Right.
at the end of the day, it's still part of that fray of commercial real estate. It's just on the building side.
Interesting. Do you conceive in the next, I don't know, 6, 12, 18 months that you have a couple events in various locations in Southern California or the greater Los Angeles area in 1 month as we work together and your other partners to go ahead and grow the alliances?
I mean, there's a potential, but it takes a lot of work, as you know,
does,
to put these
yeah.
on. I mean, I posted on LinkedIn one time because Jeff and I were Zooming each other. I was in my office, he was in his office till 11 p.m. at night, where we're trying to get the first one up and running. So building that foundation, building the following, we need to have enough people that come and follow us,
Sure.
so we can fill these venues. The goal was always to start with LA. That's why we called it Alliances.LA, which is the website.
Got it.
So you can go on there to see when the next event is. And to have different venues around the city, because you have to. LA is very, it's spread out.
It's very
If
spread
you're a
out.
West Side broker, you don't really want to go downtown. If you're downtown and if you live down there, you don't want to come to the West Side. So that's why we'll have different locations, so we
To
can
fit those
to
the-
fit those
the
things.
geography,
Eventually, we
right.
do want to go to Orange County. That would be the next county to go to.
Okay.
I've already had some private lenders that I know in San Diego says, hey, can we do a San Diego event? So of course that could be on the radar. But right now we want to make sure we get a good following for the LA events.
Absolutely.
Which so far it's turned out great.
Great.
So
Okay.
but we will spread. We will expand out. And who knows? One day maybe we'll be West Coast to East Coast.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. With InTouch Live, we have a pretty broad, not only community, not only in the LA area, but across the country. A lot of folks are interested in what you guys are doing and what you've built. So we look forward to the partnership moving forward in 26 and the years beyond. Anything else you want to say before we close?
Not
Jeff?
that I can think
No,
of.
I just want to also just we have two partners that we brought in. Elizabeth Clark. She brings. She's with Kidder Matthews. She's a really well-known superstar in investment real estate broker, and then
Great.
Mike Arnold and I, who are really close friends. He's a really well-known tenant rep. So we brought people in from, in commercial real estate. There's different avenues that people work in. You have your investments, you have your industrial, you have your retail, you have your office brokers. So we brought them in to help us because we needed a solid team to put this together. And the other thing we want to add on is, as we go into different areas, we want to kind of bring in like a guest host for one event. So
Okay.
if there's somebody that's really well known in that area, we'll bring them in as the part of the team for that one event, highlight that person, help them bring some people there, put the spotlight on them. Our goal is to put the spotlight on our sponsors, who without them we couldn't do it, and also just the spotlight on the people that come. So we want to put the spotlight on them, not on us.
Oh, that's great. Well, we appreciate the time and we appreciate the partnership, and we look forward to February 4th and March 26th,
Yep.
and throughout the summer and or the spring, and then the summer and then the fall. And appreciate you guys' time. Again, this is InTouch Live. We are going ahead and talking with Jeff and Peter and regarding our alliance together.
Alliances for Alliance.
Alliance for Alliance.
Nice close.
Signing out.
Thank you.